Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WFC Center, and thank you for tuning in live for Windsor Express basketball on Knoxstrom.tv. I am Brett Hedges alongside my partner, Kobe Kane. Tonight, we will provide the commentary for tonight's NBO Canada Clash, the lone NBO Canada Clash of the evening here with the London Lightning against the Windsor Express in another exciting installment of the 401 rivalry. Kobe, we were here 2 nights ago watching the Niagara River Lions and the Windsor Express do battle. The Express came out on top 109-102. But one of the key factors in that game was Sharon Collins, and we saw him nearly put up a double-double, which is a good sign for the Windsor Express.
10 points, 9 assists, but most importantly, Brett, 50% from the field, which is really indicating that he's rounding into game shape and also fitting in with this squad. When he arrived, there were questions. He would take Tony Bennett off the ball a little bit. By all accounts, this indicates it was a good move. Once again, Coach Bill Jones getting these guys to gel together.
Absolutely. That game saw some big performances from other players such as Kirk Williams Jr., who led the game with 19 points. Chris Commons had a game-high 4 blocks on the defensive side of the ball, and they played without Mo Bolden, who was serving a suspension. Maurice Bolden checks into the game tonight after serving that 1-game suspension, and it's really exciting to see when Mo Bo has a full head of steam.
Well, it's all hands on deck in this important Central Division matchup. The Windsor Express will need to play defense by committee, and this is one of those matchups that you're just dying to watch. Only 10 games remain for the Windsor Express, and it's certainly a very, very important matchup.
Absolutely. The Windsor Express are 17-13 in the NBL Central, whereas the London Lightning are 18-9. The Express, like Kobe said, are 3 games ahead. But this game would do wonders for their confidence after beating would be the 6th time they would have beat London this year.
Well, it would give Windsor 18 wins, and then London would have 18 wins. And if London wins, they get to create that. They get to create that separation a little bit more. I mean, we are hot on the trail here. This is a full race for the Central Division home court playoff matchup, potential matchup. I can't wait to see what happens.
Absolutely. And for the Express, we all know that it starts with defense. What can we expect from the Express down the stretch here, what they can already add to a really potent defense?
Well, they lead in blocks per game. They lead in steals per game. They've really improved on the boards. But more importantly, they create more turnovers than any other team in the league. And that's where a great defense really is born. And Windsor Express, fantastic at that. We seen St. John Millrats come in the other night. They only averaged 15 turnovers a game. Windsor helped create 28. So it's very important, like I said, defense by committee. And they're also holding opponents' field goal percentage to about 44%.
Absolutely. And London, of course, being the top-ranked team in the league for a reason. This is a really solid and really complete London Lightning squad.
Certainly is very well balanced. 7 players scoring in double digits. They do everything well. Statistically, they're sound in all spots. Their three-point shot might be the best attribute of this offense, led by Ryan Anderson, who's shooting 44% from long. And then Warren Ward, who's averaging 2.7 three-point attempts made. He's shooting 36% from long. So this team lights out from the three-point line.
And of course, down low they have Akeem Wright, who is a big force in the post. And they get back Stephen Maxwell as well from a concussion. How big of a factor are those 2 players, specifically Maxwell coming back from injury?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Stephen Maxwell leading the NBL in rebounds. 8 defensive, 4 on the offensive end. So if he's good for 4 offensive rebounds a game, that's a potential plus 8 points differential in a best case scenario. So Stephen Maxwell going to be a terror down low. The Express interior defense going to have their hands full.
Absolutely, and of course the Windsor Express will not have a home game here until April 15th, so they're looking for a very big performance here on home court before they go away for quite some time. That's going to do it from all of us here on the Knoxstrom.tv pregame. We'll check back in shortly before tip-off. You're watching Windsor Express basketball on Knoxstrom.tv. Stay tuned, folks.
And please welcome Heart of Essex, Sweet Adelines, and conductor Coltrane in the singing of our national anthem.
Wow, what a wonderful rendition of the national anthem as always. Kicking off things here at the WFCU Center before another chapter of the 401 rivalry between the London Lightning and the Windsor Express takes center stage. Hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in live on Noxroom.tv, another edition of NBO Canada lore taking place here in the Temple of Basketball, WFCU Center here in Windsor, Ontario. Brett Hedges and Kobe K here in the Media Center booth. And what can we say? Another edition between London and Windsor. Two of the only two teams that have won an NBL Canada franchise title. And ninth meeting between the two teams this year. But one thing that I want to add, a new addition to the rivalry, Akeem Scott for the London Lightning, a dynamic guard. We saw him as a member of the Orangeville Ace, former Brampton Ace, that went to the NBO Canada Central Division Finals. Exciting piece of the puzzle added to this chess game, so to speak, between the Windsor Express and London Lightning.
Certainly 6'1", 180-pound guard, repping Harlem, New York. Akeem Scott, we've seen him play before, and I think each of these teams collectively have gone out and added a piece or two, and it was London's time. They did add Nick Evans, and he has proved to be a huge and important addition to this team. 6'11", 240-pound bruiser. So between these two pieces, it really preps the London Lightning for the playoffs, Brett, which are right around the corner.
Of course, the London Lightning have played 31 games. The Windsor Express will be playing in their 21st as well. Sorry, 31st, and it will be... anyways, the home stretch of the regular season, like we said. And this is the last time that we're going to see London at the WFCU Center this year. The next time the Express will play London is the final game of the regular season at Budweiser Gardens. And we may be able to have to find out what playoff matchups we're going to have because of that game. But it's always fun to speculate and see what's going to happen now.
It's going to be a dogfight right down to the end of the regular season. And I expect this game to be no different. You know, who's ready to scrap it out tonight? The 50-50 balls are going to be so important. We watched the Windsor Express against the St. John Millrats here 2 games ago at home, Brett. And I mean, that was an absolute war. And I really do expect that kind of game tonight. Here you have the two best teams in the Central ready to go head-to-head. And this game may have huge implications on the final standings. Very, very important matchup.
Absolutely, and it's worth noting that the margin of victory in this season series so far in 8 games has been 8 points combined. So 8 games, 8 points. So that if you average that out, it's a point a game. So interesting stat brought to you by Aaron Sanders. You'll check him out at the Knockstrom.tv halftime show. Make sure to give him a follow on Twitter at @ASandersWindsor. As well, give my friend Kobe K a follow on Twitter as well at Kobe519. Text in some tweets and questions. Maybe we'll get them on halftime and during the post-game show here. Chris Commons goes inside to Brandon Robinson. He kicks it off the heel. A nice set play coming out of the inbounds play there for the Windsor Express, with the come up short. The Express start Sharon Collins, Mo Bow, Maurice Bolden. Chris Commons there as he gets a block, and Brandon Robinson and Tony Bennett.
Express ball.
The Express wearing their white jerseys with red trim going right to left. And the London Lightning starting Warren Ward, number 10. Stephen Maxwell, number 21. Akeem Wright, number 25. Number 44, Ryan Anderson, a former familiar face. And, of course, number 1, Akeem Scott, the newly acquired guard. Actually, wearing number 9, pardon me. So, Mo Bow for 3. No good. Mo Bow actually sitting out last game after accumulating 6 technicals in the season. Sitting out his 1-game suspension. As Akeem Scott scores the opening basket of the game. And we spoke about how much of an impact Maurice Bolden could have being fresh after not playing on Thursday. Him shooting the ball and getting involved early here for the Windsor Express as Chris Commons launches a 3, and it's good.
How many times have we seen number 24 do it right from that spot? Chris Commons gets the Express on the board.
The all-time leader in points, games, I'm assuming rebounds, blocks, shots. Just a career leader in every facet for the Windsor Express. Chris Commons gets it done with a 3-pointer to start the game.
Jack of all trades.
Akeem Wright can't finish on the mid-range jumper. Quickly moving the ball up. Tony Bennett, he scores in transition.
He's been playing some great basketball as of late, Brett. Tony Bennett doing a big night in and night out for the Windsor Express.
Warren Ward tried to go to the low post to Stephen Maxwell. That pass was broken up. Someone left Warren Ward all alone, and it's a 3-ball.
And that came off an offensive rebound. The Express really got to watch those, especially when it's Warren Ward out there shooting from deep, averaging 2.7 3-point field goals made per game.
Tony Bennett, the player of the game on Thursday against Niagara with 23 points. Sorry, not 23. I believe he had 18. Sharon Collins, another shot just rimming out for the Windsor Express here early on. It's a 5-5 basketball game, and Tony Bennett's going to be called for a foul here against Akeem Scott. Big battles between Tony Bennett and Akeem Scott last year during the NBL Canada Central Division Finals between Brampton and Windsor. So these guys know each other very well, and it should make for an interesting battle between the two teams' top guards.
Two very scrappy guards, very similar in play, and both great on-ball defenders. So if you're a fan watching this game, keep an eye out for that matchup.
Akeem Scott finding himself, and Maurice Bolden's going to be called for a late foul there.
And you'd see the addition of Akeem Scott already attacking, very aggressive, confident, seasoned veteran. Number 9, it's going to be big for London down the stretch.
Absolutely. Akeem Scott just came over from playing in Chile, where he was a magnet for awards, league awards. He was lead scorer, MVP. I believe he scored the most points in a season in history in the Chile League. So a guy that knows how to get to the rim, and a guy who's been getting to the rim early and often in this game. And of course, the London Lightning have a Nick O'Corey in their backcourt, but it must be nice to have the addition of Akeem Scott to take the load and maybe lessen the minutes played by O'Corey late in the year.
Well, it gives a really good three-pointing shooting team another guy that can, run some dribble penetration. So it just makes them that much more dangerous offensively.
Maurice Bolden working against Akeem Wright. Gets the jumper to go.
Speaking of dangerous, that man really coming into his own this year with the Windsor Express. Mo Board's doing it on the offensive end.
Akeem Wright, traveling violation. Yeah, you saw Bill Jones signal to the official. Yep, Hakeem Wright shuffled his feet. I'd like to thank all of our fans joining us from across the country and around the world. I'm sure some London Lightning fans joining us here on Knockstrom.tv. I'd like to thank you for joining us.
I'll shout out Mike Townsend, hitting us up on Twitter. Good to have you.
Chris Commons scoring on the curl there. So 5 quick points for Chris Commons in the opening quarter. 9-7 lead for the Windsor Express.
They tend to go to him early each time out.
Stephen Maxwell working around that Maurice Bolden block and scores at the cup, tie this game up at 9. Nice play from Maxwell.
Good read by the London Lightning. Defensively, nobody home for the Windsor Express.
And I'm sure this team mixed Stephen Maxwell very much while he was away.
For sure, and they missed his 12 rebounds per game. That's definite.
Brandon Robinson, the second all-time leading scorer in the league, getting it to the rack there, drawing a foul. Happy birthday, Brandon Robinson. Actually celebrated on Friday. 27 years old.
27 years old, averaging 20 points per game. In a fantastic season for the Windsor Express.
Has been a member of this league since its inception in Canada. Was a longtime member of the Island Storm. Now comes over to the Windsor Express. I recently found out through Instagram that Tony Bennett had been recruiting Brandon Robinson in the offseason, I guess, giving him multiple calls, trying to get him to come to Windsor. It's Chris Commons with a nice defensive play there on Maxwell, tying the ball up and not allowing a basket. Chris Commons, a good start for the team captain. Hakeem Wright gives it to Stephen Maxwell, and he works his way around another defender, and he scores.
Also averaging 18 points per game. And Maxwell Brett shooting 60% from the field. You want to talk about ultra efficient, 76% from the line. That's one heck of a basketball player right there.
Sharon Collins working around some defenders. Tony Bennett with a 3 in the corner.
Cash Money, number 5. He's really been feeling it lately. That is for sure. Mr. 40 plus with the long triple.
Absolutely. Tony Bennett, Mr. 40 plus. Names earned, not given. Warren Ward for 3, getting a nice pass from Ryan Anderson. And tie game once again, 14 all.
You got it. You can't give number 10 no space on the three-point line. Warren Ward hits another triple. And that's 2 consecutive for him. And for the London Lightning, they're just lights out from long.
Chris Commons over Maxwell. Ooh, just couldn't get it to fall. Rimmed out. The look was good, but Hakeem Wright swings it over to Warren Ward. Stops at the three-point line, lets it go, and they'll say it's a long 2. But another basket for the London Lightning.
He is red hot. Both teams shooting real well from the field here. London Lightning 5 for 7. The Windsor Express 5 for 8. Very efficient offensive output so far.
Nice play there from Brandon Robinson to Chris Commons, slipping away from the screen and scoring in tight.
7 points for Chris Commons early.
Defense showing up right there, Brandon Robinson. And he scores. Getting around 2 players there, looking for a foul, not going to get it.
And that turnover turned into 2 points for the Windsor Express. Defense translating into offense.
This game features 3 of the top 5 scorers in league history. Number 2, Brandon Robinson. Number 3, Nick O'Corey. And number 4, Chris Commons. So this game's going to feature a lot of points, or could have the potential to anyway. Hakeem Scott working his way inside of the phone booth, and coming out the other side is Stephen Maxwell with another basket for the London Lightning. Beautiful drive and dish there.
And finish with the left hand. Strong off the block for number 25.
Offensive foul going to be called against Maurice Bolden. Moving screen. And we're going to get our first substitutions of the game. 5:35 left here in the first quarter. And I believe we're going to have our first timeout of the game.
Pardon me, number 21, Stephen Maxwell.
That's all right. Maxwell coming into this game after spending some time away with a concussion. Glad to see all of our players back at full strength. But someone has, for the Windsor Express, coming under the injury bug once again. We saw James Hughes take a big fall on Thursday. He is out for today. Rudolph Jolly tried to go earlier in the pregame. He is out as well. So 2 big men for the Windsor Express out of this lineup today. How do you feel that will affect the rebounding game, Kobe?
Well, it comes down to the scrap that we're going to see on the court. And these guys are just going to have to fight and really, Brett, win the 50-50 balls. London isn't really a huge team, although they're much bigger with Stephen Maxwell. But I think it's manageable for Windsor as long as there is a sound effort on the defensive end. I mean, they really do a lot. Speaking of the Windsor Express defensively, and they haven't been allowing opponents to only score 100 points per game or less through the course of 30 games for nothing. So it's manageable, but it's not going to be easy, that's for sure. This London team has been playing at a high level all year long. We haven't seen a lot of roadblocks and ups and downs. They've been consistently awesome, and that's really been the difference. And they've stayed atop of the Central for the 15-16 season, but the Windsor Express hot on their trail.
Absolutely. The Windsor Express are 17-13 right now in the MBO Canada Central Division standings, and over top of them right now, the London Lightning sitting at 18-9. A couple games in hand, but this is an important game nonetheless for the Express as they look to try and defeat the Lightning for the 6th time, and likewise the Lightning trying to get the season series within splitting range. 5-4 would be tonight. Warren Ward can't get the shot to fall. Marcus Capers with an offensive rebound there, number 34, going to work, leaving it for Nick O'Corey, who just entered the game, and there he goes. Nick O'Scorey getting it done.
And there's 2 more points coming off of an offensive rebound. So you see how important that stat is, Brett.
Shaquille Keith coming into the game, slipping on that opportunity. Akeem Scott to O'Corey in transition. Brandon Robinson's got to soak up a foul. Quickly, a big shout-out. Happy 83rd birthday to Adeline Torrey.
Express foul number 15, Brandon Robinson.
From your lovely son, Drew Terrible, one of our Windsor Express staffers. So happy birthday, Adeline. 83 candles on the cake. As Nick O'Corey scores the first free throw.
Already seeing some great ball movement from both teams, Brett. Windsor coming in leading the league in assists per game at 25, London at 23. Here London have 17 assists, Windsor with 6. Just some good sound basketball going on. Both teams really shooting well from the field. London Lightning 72%, Windsor 63%. But then of course long, we have London 2 for 3 from downtown, Windsor 2 for 3 from downtown. So some real efficient offensive basketball being played.
Akeem Scott called for the foul. Here comes Tyshawn Patterson now for him. In the offensive set, here come the Express. Chris Commons stops in the middle of the key. That hesitation backed off the defender, and he scores. I believe almost double digits for Chris Commons already in this game.
9 points already. They go to Chris Commons early, and it is paying off.
Like I said, Chris Commons, a career leader in multiple team categories for the Windsor Express.
When they had their ups and downs at the start of the year, Brett, he was really the constant for this team.
Nick O'Corey, there's Chris Commons there with a rebound there. Just doing all the little things right, like you said, just doing all the things that a leader does. Chris Commons for 3, here we go. Good things happen.
12 points, and what a feed from number 5, Tony Bennett. The floor general finds Chris Commons out on the three-point line wide open.
Chicago made him, the village raised him, Mr. 40+. Names earned, not given. Warren Ward for 3, no good. Kirk Williams Jr. soars in for the rebound. And it's really been the bench play of Shaquille Keith, Kirk Williams, and when he was coming off the bench, Mo Bolden, that's really helped this team solidify themselves over the last 12 games. Do you believe I'm correct there, Kobe?
Oh, 100%. You have 3 players, all 3 that you mentioned, scoring in double digits, or very close too. And Kirk Williams Jr., you've heard me say before, really the X factor. You go back to the Niagara game just a few days ago, Thursday night, 19 off the bench. So important. And then Mo Bolden, really a 10-10 guy. And then Shaquille Keith. I mean, we can't say enough about the job he's done. The Windsor rookie playing like a veteran. So all three of those players, unbelievable and instrumental pieces in this team, possibly repeating it going for their third consecutive championship.
Absolutely. Nick Evans got that pass inside the low post. He kicked it out to the three-point shooter, but unfortunately there's no three-point shooter there. Windsor takes over on the turnover. Here comes Chris Collins, who's had himself a heck of a first quarter. And he's going to draw a holding foul on Marcus Capers. So Chris Collins going to work today. He knows better than anybody about what this rivalry is all about between the London Lightning and Windsor Express, having been a member of this team since its inaugural season.
And so do we. We've been up here and broadcasted many battles throughout the regular season and playoffs. These are always great games.
I was trying to look it up and trying to see what mark we're at in the broadcast booth. It's got to be close to 100, so I'm going to check and see when exactly we started in what season, and we're going to count the home games there.
Yeah,
we've done over 20 playoff games. So here's Ryan Anderson in transition, leaves it for Marcus Capers. Bill Jones asking for a traveling violation there. It did look like Capers shuffled his feet, but he draws the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. 23-22, Windsor Express lead over the Express lead over the Lightning. Kyle Julius's squad from London began the season on a tear. Have only really had struggles against Windsor this season. 5 of their 9 losses coming against the Express.
Right, and it seems to be a bit of kryptonite, and I think really, Brett, why it's so important that if you're London, you want to clinch the Central to get that home court advantage, because it's tough to come in here and win. It's tough for Windsor to go out on the road to London and get a W, so home court's so important, and I really expect both teams to fight tooth and nail right down the stretch.
Absolutely. The final game of the regular season is going to be in London. That's April 30th, so circle your calendars there. That's a Saturday night game. I'll be there. I know that. Chris Commons scoring in tight again. 14 first quarter points for Mr. Dependable.
He is feeling it so far.
Tyshawn Patterson leaves it for Marcus Capers. He stops in the middle of the key, leaves it for Nick O'Corey. O'Corey tries to find Nick Evans. No, he finds Capers instead. What a pass and what a dunk from number 34.
Capers had a step on Shaquille Keith there.
Chris Commons steps inside the three-point line, working against Nick Evans. Those are 2 NBO Canada veterans. Chris Commons comes up short with the mid-range jumper. Ryan Anderson, a member of Windsor's championship squad last year, gives it over to Patterson. He misses. Shaquille Keith takes a bump from Nick Evans. No call. Here come the Lightning. Brandon Robinson over to Shaquille Keith. He's going to get rewarded for getting fouled, and he scores at the cup.
6 of Windsor's 27 points coming off turnovers, really paying homage to how important it is that their defense creates offense.
Theo Davis waiting to check into the game. I'm assuming for Chris Commons, so he doesn't get any late fouls. Nick Evans kicks it out to Ryan Anderson. Quick trigger, no good, too long. Shaquille Keith lead pass. Nick Evans gets it, no. Kirk Williams for Brandon, no good. B-Rob celebrating his 27th birthday a few days ago, coming up short on that three-point attempt. Ryan Anderson steps inside the three-point line, launches it, and lets it go. Barely touched the twine there. Ryan Anderson showing off that shooting stroke.
No doubt about it. One of the best pure shooters in the NBL, shooting 44% from long. Unbelievable. Just a fantastic shooter for the Lightning, who are 2 of 7 from downtown, though, in this one, Brett, so far. Making almost 12 triples a game, though.
Last possession of the first quarter. Sharon Collins going behind his back to Kirk Williams Jr., launching it for 3. It's good. And a wild first quarter between the Windsor Express and the London Lightning. Windsor taking a 30-27 lead after 12 minutes of play. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, more of Windsor Express basketball on Knoxstrom.tv. Welcome back to the WFC Center, ladies and gentlemen. Brett Hedges and Kobe K here on the call. And a wild first quarter between the Windsor Express and London Lightning sees the Express lead 30-27 thanks to a long three-pointer from Kirk Williams Jr. just before the buzzer. Kobe, tell the fans at home just what kind of basketball are we watching here?
Well, thanks to many three-pointers as the Express go 4 for 6 from downtown.
Welcome back to the WFC Center, ladies and gentlemen.
Dynamic first quarter shooting,
on the call.
12 for 19 from the field for 63%, 2 for 2 from the line for 100%, 11 team assists, 2 steals. They did have 4 turnovers, but a fantastic quarter led by number 24, Chris Coleman, 6 for 8 from the field, 2 for 2 from downtown, 14 points. But they also had contributions from Tony Bennett, who was 2 for 2 for 5 points. Maurice Bolden, 1 for 2 for 2 points. Brendan Robinson chipped in for Shaquille Keith, 2. And then Kirk Williams Jr. with that big tray at the end. And on the other side for the London Lightning, not too shabby themselves. 5 of 17 from the field, 58%. 2 of 7 from downtown for 28%. Expect that to improve. 5 of 6 from the line for 83%. 8 rebounds. They out-rebounded the Express by 3. 9 team assists, 2 steals. They did a fantastic job as well and had 6 different players score. Exactly what we expected, bro. Brett, great basketball through the first 12 minutes.
I'm okay if you call me bro. Don't worry about it. We're friends. Shaquille Keith working against Nick O'Corey. Here's Kirk Williams Jr. working his way in the middle of the key and 1. Kirk Williams Jr. KWJ at the rack. Yep.
Hey Brett, just to let you know that there was some inappropriate comments on the YouTube comments and they have been removed.
Absolutely, thank you very much for that, Alex. We don't condone any of that action. Please, folks, let's keep it classy in the NBO Canada comments. Kirk Williams Jr. completes a three-point play for the Express.
Averaging 13 points per game, 51% from the field. Think that guy's important to this team? You bet he is. Former Finals MVP.
And we are expecting KW3 to be entering the world, I believe, sometime in June or July. So Kirk Williams' wife pregnant with his son. Theo Davis with a big jam there for the Express. And they're up 8 points early.
On the behind-the-back pass from number 14, Alex Superman Johnson. The Express firing on all cylinders.
And Tyshawn Patterson draws the foul there. And
just thanks to our viewers for the comments, and so we can fix it.
Thank you very much, of course, folks. Always appreciate your thoughts and concerns. Make sure to check us out on Twitter as well, at Noxstrom Digital Media, at NOXTROM. Akeem Wright putting the ball on the ground. Nice spin move in the post, but he's blocked. No, fouled by Theo Davis. Good to see the Express defenders right there. Nice spin move in the post there from Akeem Wright. He gets himself to the free throw line.
Yeah, London had a few easy looks down low in the first quarter, so it was nice to see it contested.
Akeem Wright. Gets it to fall.
And Wright having a good season for the London Lightning, averaging 14 points per game. He's a very important piece in that machine, which is the London Lightning.
Split pair of free throws from Akeem Wright. Windsor out 35-28. Hey, quick shout out to Shannon Superfan from Cary. We know you're watching the Windsor live stream from home today. We hope that you enjoy the live stream as well. Alex Johnson getting inside to Theo Davis. Nice finish inside there. And a beautiful pass from Alex Superman Johnson.
Yeah, the dribble penetration game working for number 14, able to find open teammates and make some buckets happen.
Nick O'Corey giving it back into Akeem Wright, working against Shaquille Keith. He rises and shoots, puts it long, but Warren Ward saves him from going out of bounds, gets it back to O'Corey. O'Corey to Patterson. Bang! From three-point land.
And that's where the London Lightning can absolutely kill you, from the three-point line.
37-31 they score in favor of the Windsor Express. Pair of substitutions coming in the game for London on the next whistle. Shaquille Keith. Step back jumper. Theo Davis with the offensive rebound. Kirk Williams Jr. lines up a 3-ball. Shaquille Keith takes that pass, creates some space, and finishes with the reverse left-handed finish.
Using his body, takes the dribble, and goes off the backboard. Staple stuff there from Shaquille Keith.
Hey, remember when we thought that Shaquille Keith was 190 pounds? As we see a big 3 there.
Hey, I blame the Dax Stats player profile for that. Usually on the money, 99.9% correct. Dax Stats really helping us out this year.
Tyshawn Patterson with a big 3 there, cuts the deficit to 5 points. Theo Davis going to be called for an offensive foul, illegal screen. And Billy Rush going to check into the game now for the Express. Nope.
Two quick fouls for number 40, Theo Davis. Talking it out with Kirk Williams Jr.
Sorry, I believe Billy Rush began the quarter with the Express. Pardon me, he was not subbed in. To my knowledge. Anyway. 9:28. Okay, so that... Oh, the foul wasn't on the screen from Theo Davis. It was away from the ball on... Never mind. They're correcting themselves again. It is on Theo Davis for the illegal screen. Billy Rush is in the game, but he did not foul anybody. I swear. Here's Stephen Maxwell working against Theo Davis. Ooh, nearly fell. Akeem Scott tried to get that rebound, but he fell in the process. Kirk Williams Jr. to Billy Rush. Kicks it back out to Kirk. To Johnson. Yes.
The extra pass, and Alex Superman Johnson ends up with the open look. 2 assists and a quick 3-pointer for number 14. He's having himself quite a game off the bench.
Tyshawn Patterson can't get it to fall. 2-time player of the week in the league, Tyshawn Patterson. Kirk Williams Jr. to Billy Rush for 3. No good. Akeem Scott going straight A to B. Can't get it to fall. Akeem Wright picks up the garbage and puts it in. 6-point game.
And I think that's what London needs to do, Brett, is to speed this up a little bit. Try and play in transition and really take it to Windsor.
Shaquille Keith behind the back. Look at that. Your rookie sensation, Shaquille Keith, making his play, making his case for Rookie of the Year. And possibly Canadian of the Year.
Mr. Triple-Double, or almost.
Nearly, yeah.
What a game that was.
It was against East London Lightning, however, yes.
20-10-9.
Warren Ward, nice body control there, scoring with some defense against Billy Rush.
Warren Ward.
Not just a 3-point shooter.
Yeah, it was, I believe, about a month ago we played here in the WFC Center. Shaquille Keith was an assist and a rebound away from a triple-double, but he got himself ejected for a second technical in a game. Said it was a learning experience.
Yeah, I think he was 1 assist away. It was that close.
As you see a beautiful dime from Shaquille Keith to Kirk Williams Jr. for a corner 3. I think they're hearing us talking about them.
Their ears are burning on the bench.
Akeem Wright in the low post working against Kirk Williams Jr. Nice play there, double pump and scores. Akeem Wright getting it done.
Akeem Wright.
Shaquille Keith in the corner to Kirk Williams Jr. He can't hang on and ends up in the corner on a turnover. 3 subs check into the game for the Express. Mo Bolden, Chris Commons, and Tony Bennett.
Let's go back to Akeem Wright real quick here, Brett. We talk about the almost 15 points per game, but then you got the 5.8 rebounds, the 3.3 assists, and the 1.9 steals. So that's a guy that really does it all for you.
Akeem Scott in the high post to Stephen Maxwell. Right to Warren Ward, high screen. Ward working against Mo Bolden, crossing over. Gets the defender out of the way, puts up a shot at the end of the shot clock. It expires, but Windsor had possession. Here comes Alex Johnson in transition. Billy Rush for 3. Off the mark, unable to hit a 3 in his time here with the Windsor Express, but you got to shoot your way out of the slump, right? I believe he's going to be a big part of this team come playoff time. Got some nice Beastie Boys going on in the background here. Look at him battle Akeem right there. That's not an easy matchup. Ooh, Chris Commons impacting the initial shot, but
Stephen Maxwell absolutely beasting down low with the put back off the offensive board.
High screen. Johnson, one-on-one. Akeem Wright crossing over, gets the defender in the air. Can't get it to fall in the teardrop. Nice move, just couldn't get it to fall.
I like the aggression shown here by Alex Johnson. He's having himself a good quarter.
Akeem Wright for three, cans it well beyond the three-point line.
So we see him with the dribble penetration, finishing at the rim, and then out for the long triple. Dangerous, no doubt about it.
Alex Johnson, a former member of the NC State Wolfpack. Behind the back there, looking to find Chris Commons. He does. In the corner, Tony Bennett for three. No good. Mo Bolden with the rebound. Puts up a dribble. Can't get it to fall. Gets his own rebound once again. Maurice Bolden pulls it out. Driving, loses it. Scott with it now in transition. Takes a bump from Alex Johnson. And a foul is going to be called.
And it's a shame if you're Maurice Bolden, because he had all kinds of space. It would have been two steps, and I would imagine a finish at the rim. But he lost control of the basketball. Johnson commits the foul. Keem Scott looks to be all right.
And that will bring us to a timeout here. Windsor Express at one time had an 8-point lead in this quarter. The London Lightning battling back and making it a 2-point deficit once again. 47-45, the Express lead.
Right, well, we've seen London hit a few more three-pointers, and that's how quickly they can erase the deficit. Like I said, averaging almost 12 three-point baskets made per game. They're 5 of 10 in this one, Brett. But they've also done some great work at the rim. We've seen some offensive rebounds and some putbacks. So they can hit you in multiple ways, and they're showing that early as they've cut this lead to just 2 points.
Absolutely. We hope everyone that's traveling this weekend is having a safe time doing so and enjoying some time with their families, enjoying whatever holidays you are enjoying this weekend. Enjoy the long weekend here. Wishes from all of us at MAXWELL. Someone we know that is traveling currently en route to one of those Easter celebrations is longtime Windsor Express fan Robin Hayes. She sends in her love and appreciation to the Express fans and, of course, the Express players, hoping to bring home another win here in the London-Windsor 401 rivalry. And it seems as though we're going to have another barn burner here, Mitch. We know we use the term often, but it's you can't deny us when you're seeing heavily contested games night in and night out in this league.
I would have to agree. Windsor really coming into their own here at the right time. I think we're seeing them peak a little bit. Tony Bennett really playing great basketball. You want to talk about the job he did against St. John's down the stretch. That kind of leadership really pays big dividends in situations like, a race for the Central Division, and then you see London here adding Akeem Scott. So, man, I just can't say enough.
This will be our last game at home until April 15th, folks. So that's Chris Commons there with another block, but unfortunately the ball goes right to Stephen Maxwell for a big slam dunk to tie the game up 47.
You ask, did the London Lightning miss Stephen Maxwell? 10 points and 4 boards. He is 5 of 6 from the field, and there's still 4:40 left in the second Q.
47-47 here. Sharon Collins looking inside, finds Brandon Robinson on the back door. He step back jumper is good. Robinson.
Beautiful off the fadeaway. Number 15, Brandon Robinson.
Ryan Anderson over to Capers. Akeem Wright mishandles it momentarily, then gets inside the three-point line, gives it over to Capers. Another block from Chris Commons. That's got to be 3 already.
And he's probably saved the Windsor Express from a London Lightning 4 points.
Sharon Collins working his way inside the three-point line. Off the bounce, and he scores. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, Sharon Collins.
He's got 4 assists to go along with that basket. Number 4, Sharon Collins fitting in nicely.
Former NCAA champion with the Kansas Jayhawks in 2008.
former member of the Charlotte Bobcats. This man's been all over the globe playing the game of basketball.
Chris Commons going to be called for a foul there after he blocked, I believe for the fourth time he blocked somebody in the low post. Called for a late foul there. And
number 24, Chris Commons,
that's his first personal of the game. So that's if you're Express coach Bill Jones, you got to be happy. 3:30 and he's got his first foul.
Indeed, with 14 points to go along with those 4 blocks.
Akeem Scott gets the ball to fall after that drive there. He's not afraid to go in the dirty areas, like you said, Kobe. Getting it done, Akeem Scott. Maurice Bolden.
6 points and 3 assists early for number 9, the newcomer, Akeem Scott. Instant impact. That's what he gives the London Lightning. An instant impact on the offensive end.
Maurice Bolden dribbled out of bounds, unfortunately, on his low post move. Good defense from Akeem Wright. Or just a little bit of spatial awareness. We'll see. Anderson, high post to Akeem Wright. Stops at the elbow. No good, but he does draw a foul. Akeem Wright, what a big body, what a powerful forward for the London Lightning.
You can't give him the 3-point shot because he'll make it. So you have to lag off a little bit, and then he's able to penetrate and get to the rack. And here, shoot that jumper off the elbow, draw the foul, and get to the free throw line to create some offense. So he's deadly.
Akeem Wright misses the first free throw. Scoring the second one and making it a 1-point game, 51-50 with 3 minutes to go here in the half.
The London Lightning hanging on for the Express's hot start.
Make sure to tweet any of your questions and concerns to A. Sanders Windsor for any halftime report stat. As Chris Commons misses the mid-range jumper there. Aaron Sanders does a great job for us. Make sure to tune in and watch him at halftime and on the post-game show. Marcus Capers, offensive foul. No traveling violation, says crew chief Paul Carter.
The 6th turnover for the London Lightning.
Yes, Alex?
Yes, a big shout out to George Alessandro watching the live stream.
George
Carlo
Alessandro.
Mentor, Lisa O,
That's right, Lisa
Shannon
O.
Watt, Mike Towson.
Sharon Collins getting around the London defense and scoring once again. The usual suspects on the YouTube channel, Alex. The usual suspects.
Yes.
That's what we can call them. The usual suspects. Akeem Wright. Stepping in that three-pointer and knocking it down. Like you said, Kobe can knock it down from distance.
And he has made in double-digit scoring now, 12 points for Akeem Wright to go along with 3 assists, 2 boards.
53 up. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the opening half. Sharon Collins turns on the Jets once again. Robinson, step back 3. Wow, getting it done there. The Clayton State product. Played out of Division II, but he's one of the best scorers I have ever seen in my life. As Marcus Capers comes up empty on a second opportunity there. And Kurt Capers is going to be called for a player control foul. So that will be free throws and possession for the Windsor Express.
And huge, and a little bit of frustration out of the London Lightning.
Marcus Capers, his second personal, team second.
So Robinson will go to the free throw line.
Brandon Robinson.
A 90% shooter from the charity stripe. He's averaging 20 a game. And really, Brett, when they brought him in, they couldn't have found a better player to address the scoring needs at the time.
I agree. After the first 2 games of the year, they had yet to score 100 points. He comes onto the roster, scores 19 in his first game, and what do you know? It was a victory. So a big piece. It's crazy what happens when you add the second all-time leading scorer in league history to your roster.
And he hasn't been asked to score as much lately, although still averaging 20, but had a bit of relief as more pieces have come in, and that's even better for Brandon Robinson.
You know you've got yourself a steady-handed scorer, driver, whatever you need when you've got Brandon Robinson in the bucket.
On deck.
You know he's ready to put up points. He's a sound defender, too, as you see a turnaround jumper. Oh, Brandon.
Just filthy. And a great passer.
Honestly.
He's very underrated in the other facets of the game because he's so good at scoring.
That bucket makes it a 7-point Express lead as Akeem Scott is going to draw a foul against Sharon Collins.
Express foul number 4.
And as good as
It's just poetry in motion to watch Brandon Robinson with the contested 2, to watch him on the fadeaway or any of the ways in which he creates space from the elbow. It's just so much fun to watch. Such a beautiful thing.
It's fun to watch this guy play, too. Akeem Scott just has so much passion and love for the game of basketball. He gives everything he's got every time he's on the floor. Recently read an article involving him, and he says, I don't care if I play 40 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or 1 minute. I'm going as hard as I can when I'm out there.
And he does that. You know, we see the dribble penetration, how hard he takes it to the rack. He's able to get himself to the free throw line or finish at the cup. Just a great player from the guard position.
Brandon Robinson, turnaround jumper once again. Good line. No, it's off the front rim. Express battle for it. Tony Bennett gets the ball back. Offensive foul. No, and one. Kirk Williams Jr. I was about ready to send the ball back the other way for the offensive foul.
Tony Bennett must have eyes in the back of his head. He doesn't make that pass, and that play doesn't happen. But a fantastic finish from Kirk Williams Jr.
Must have been using that echolocation.
Unbelievable. Tony Bennett.
KWJ off the heel on the free throw, but a 7-point lead for the Windsor Express. 35 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Nick O'Corey off the bounce. 2-foot stop, gets it over to Stephen Maxwell, and he scores. What a play.
And that is 26 points in the paint for the London Lightning, and that's really where they have found a lot of success, is the putbacks down low or just plays off the block. So look for them to go back there in the second half.
Shot clock turned off, 10 seconds to go in the half. Sharon Collins top of the key for 3, short. Ryan Anderson, he's got time. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. O'Corey not going to get it off in time. Akeem Wright. That's how close it can be. But no basket at the end of the half. Windsor up 62-57. Kobe, your thoughts?
Well, I think if you're London, you got to be happy that Sharon Collins didn't score there, because that would have really sucked some of the life out of the Lightning going into the dressing room. Overall, both teams played fantastic basketball. London Lightning shooting 55% from the field. Windsor shooting 58% from the field. Ultra efficient, ultra fun.
Absolutely. The Express up 62-57. Let's turn it over to Aaron Sanders for the Knockstrom.tv halftime report. We'll see you here for the second half call on Knockstrom.tv.
Thanks, gentlemen. This has been an exciting first half, nonetheless, but this is what you expect when you have the 401 rivalry with here between the London Lightning and the Windsor Express. And in part 9 of this 401 rivalry in the 2016 season, the Express lead 62-57 right here. This is the Knockstrom halftime, and as always, I'm Aaron Sanders bringing it to you. We'll break down the first half for you right now. Leading scorer for the Windsor Express, and it's quite common to have him. You guessed it, Chris Commons, who has 14 points and 2 rebounds. Leading scorer for London is Stephen Maxwell. He leads the team scoring with 12 points and, get this, 6 rebounds. So he might be on the lookout for a double-double. So far, we have, in terms of bench scoring, London scoring 13 points. Compared to Windsor, they scored 11 more, so 24 points. And the Express went on a great wear and tear and putting on a great shooting percentage right here, almost 57%. And for London, very close to Windsor. They're at 55%. So great shooting from both clubs so far. But Windsor has the upper edge because they showed great poise, great ball control. They knew London was going to come out of the gate with the zone defense, so that's why they attacked before London could set it up. Great inside passes. Normally you don't see that, but when you connect them, when you connect well, that's how Windsor gets up there. London, they're doing a real great job too, whether if it's shooting outside or inside, but either way, you can pretty much sum this first half as a great shootout, and we hope to see more of that as the game progresses into the second half. 62-57, and it's quite funny enough, we're the only game going on in the NBLC tonight. And first of all, I'll get this off my chest. If you're celebrating Easter, we wish you a happy Easter weekend to you. For those who aren't celebrating it, we hope you're enjoying this game and enjoying your night as well as this beautiful weekend. Because right here at the WFCU Center and here in Windsor, Ontario, beautiful, beautiful weather. And we have a beautiful game cooked up for you right here. And now we're going to look at the records and the breakdown between this 401 rivalry this year. And trust me, it is a pretty interesting one. Now, as I mentioned at the top of the Knoxham halftime, this is the 9th meeting between the Windsor Express and the London Lightning. Windsor leads this 401 series 5-3 this year. The last meeting was March the 3rd, and Windsor won that 119-112. And here's the interesting fact right here. The average margin of victory in this 401 series this year, 8 points. So that's how close and how competitive these two teams come out if they want to gain the upper hand in the Central Division. Now, for the Lightning, they are 18-9 overall, and they have gone through some struggles in this month of March. They have gone 1-3 this month, and their average point per game, 108. They lead the league in three-pointers made per game, so that's 11 threes they make per game, and they lead the league in that. Now for the Windsor Express, they are 17-13 overall, and they are on a brighter end of the situation here in the month of March. They've gone 5-3, and why not? Their average point per game is 102 a game, and they are riding on a 3-game winning streak. So basically, this is their final game of their 4-game homestand, and they have won all 3 of them. Could tonight, will they go for a 4-0 sweep at home before traveling on the road for Easter Sunday? We'll have to find out. But nonetheless, Maurice Bolden, as you've seen, returned from tonight after serving a 1-game suspension for collecting 6 technical fouls in the whole season. He sat out against Niagara on Thursday night, which the Express won. And he is returning, and he's putting out a great performance right here in the first half. The Express leads the league in assists, blocks, and steals, and that's basically their game. And that is all about the transition game. You had the assists, you had the steals, you had the blocks. That's a great transition game they display. And here are the standings right now. In the Atlantic Division, the Halifax Hurricanes lead at a 19-8 record. St. John, not far away from them, they're at 18-12. The Moncton Miracles are 13-16, and the Island Storm riding the end at 10-17. Competitive teams in the Atlantic Division, but this Central Division is something that you have to watch throughout the rest of this season. As I mentioned, London Lightning are 18-9, the Express are 17-13, the River Lions are 12-18, and the Orangeville A's are 8-21. Those are the standings for you. When we return, we'll have tips for the second half for both clubs. You are watching the Knoxham Halftime. Stick around with us following this commercial timeout.
You love me.
Of course I love you. Hey, guess what? I got a job interview tomorrow.
Hunter, you're not listening. How do you know that my love for you is real? Is any of this real?
You have delusional psychosis.
Look, you're now working for a powerful drug cartel.
I want to get out of here and move on. It's not gonna- Sometimes love can blind people from reality.
And here we are. Back at it once again. Knoxstrom halftime. Windsor leads the Lightning 62-57. Aaron Sanders back with you for a short moment. You know, it's not hard to believe that the Windsor Express are really coming out with a vengeance in the second half of the season with their transition game. Transition games is what kept them alive in the Central Division standings, as well being a couple of games behind London for first place, but they are really showing out. Now, granted, London has played less games than the Express this month, but London still holding to their own as the cream of the crop for the Central Division. Windsor Express, a couple of half games behind London, but yet we have a great 401 rivalry going on right here at the WFCU Center, Part 9, as I mentioned, of this season. And now tips for the second half. I mentioned the transition game. Both of these teams can learn from this. You got to get your tempo up rolling with the transition game, either team, to break off the second half, because both London and Windsor are two great teams to kick off the second half with a vengeance. We're going to see who pulls off with a vengeance in the early goings in the second half. And plus, you got to have no hesitation in penetrating the defense. When you see the opportunity to cut inside and go inside of the hole with a strong finish, have no hesitation to do it. Go in there. That's how you get the better shots, and that's how you will cut the lead. 5-point lead as far as I'm concerned. And now here's the thing. Both of these clubs know how to set up for the zone defense, and they're really airtight on that. If you really want to go somewhere in this game, you really got to make sure you attack. That is one thing about the zone defense. If it's not set up, the other team will penetrate the defense and start attacking you. So set up a tempo in the transition game. Make sure you show no mercy by finishing strong, and make sure you penetrate those zone defense. That goes for two of those teams right here. Now at the half, once again, the Express lead the London Lightning 62-57 in another installment of the 401 rivalry. We're going to pause now. We'll leave you for a few minutes, but when we return, we'll have Brett Hedges and Mitch Kobe K with the call for the second half. Enjoy the second half. I will see you folks at the Knoxstrom halftime. Special shout out to Stevie Melange for giving us great shout outs during the halftime. And we enjoy all of you for watching. So stick around following this commercial timeout, and we will have the second half for you. I'll see you at the Knoxstrom post game.
Welcome back to the WFC Center, ladies and gentlemen. We're a few minutes away from second half action here between the hometown Windsor Express and the London Lightning. Breaking down what the first half numbers are. Well, right now the Express hold a 62-57 lead over the London Lightning, trying to go 6-3 this season over the Lightning. And Kobe K, what do the first half stats say to you?
Well, they speak of a fantastic game, very even. London shooting 55% from the field, Windsor shooting 56% from the field. Both teams putting in work from three-point range. London 6 for 11 for 54%, Windsor 7 of 14 for 50%. London 9 of 12 for the free throw line for 75%. Windsor Express 5 of 6 for 83%. London had 20 rebounds, 6 on the offensive end. The Windsor Express had 18 rebounds, 6 on the offensive end. Check out the assist numbers. 15 for London and 20 for the Windsor Express. 20 collective team assists through 2 quarters. That's a fantastic number. 2 steals for London. 3 for Windsor. 6 turnovers for the Lightning, 7 for the Express. Windsor had 24 points off their bench. That was the biggest margin over the Lightning, who had 13. And what has really helped them to this lead, and that's that bench scoring. Windsor 32 points in the paint, London 26. London did a good job off points off turnovers with 13. Windsor had 6. Sorry, that's second chance points. London with 8 points off turnovers, Windsor with 10. When you look at individual performance, Windsor had 3 scorers in double digits. Brandon Robinson with 13, Chris Commons with 14, Kirk Williams Jr. for 11. The Lightning, Hakeem Ray 12 points, Stephen Maxwell 12 points, and Warren Ward with 10.
Of course, and like you said, the bench scoring for the Windsor Express really helping them in that first half, pardon me. They're up 5 now. Does the bench play, is it key in this game now as we go towards the second half?
I think it is for sure. And we're likely going to see these teams cool off a little bit, Brett. But I will say this Windsor Express offense has been a lot better lately. London allowing opponents to score in and around 103 points per game. So this above their season average. The Express 62 first half points. I'm not sure if that's a record this season, but it's a very good number.
Absolutely, and if you're the London Lightning, what do you have to do to get in this game early in the third quarter and perhaps take this lead and make this series a little bit closer?
Well, I think they need to tighten things up defensively. Chris Commons had his way down low. And then Windsor was also great from the three-point line, Brett. They made 7 three-pointers. So they've got to get out there and contest those shots, not give them any easy looks. But it's tough when Windsor's passing the basketball this well. Like I said, 20 team assists.
Who can we look to from each side, maybe to be the X factor in the second half here?
I think Kirk Williams Jr., who started out solid in the first, again, to have a big second half. All of the Windsor's big guns there scored in the first half. So I think all of those guys coming in with the bench scoring, I think it's really a collective team effort for the London Lightning, continuing to feed the beast down low. Tyshawn Patterson and Akeem Scott. Stephen Maxwell, those 2 players down low, did a great job in the paint.
These 10 players on the floor right now could be in an NBL Canada All-Star game and on any team, and they're here. And for 2 teams for the Express, you see Warren Ward open the third quarter with a bucket for the London Lightning. So no lack of scoring in the first half. We saw over nearly 120 points scored between the 2 teams.
And London going right at the rim of the Windsor Express.
Chris Commons tracks down a loose ball, kicks it out to B-Rob for 3. It's good. Brandon Robinson with another 3-pointer for the Windsor Express. And they go up 6 points here in the opening minute of the third.
Windsor 8 for 15 from downtown.
Warren Ward rocking the cradle, working against Brandon Robinson. Stays at the 3-point line, launches, knocks it down. Beautiful shot from Warren Ward, who's getting it done from the 3-point line all game long and all season long for the Lightning.
3 of 5 from downtown. He's averaging almost 3 a game. So above his season averages there. Just a dynamite from the 3-point line.
Tony Bennett kicks it out to Brandon Robinson. He lines up another 3. That one's off the mark. Warren Ward. Over to Akeem Scott. He goes inside to Maxwell. Takes a handoff from Maxwell. Back to Maxwell. He boots it. Here comes Bennett. Robinson. Down low to Kirk Williams Jr. Off of Kirk's hands. And that's a missed opportunity for the Windsor Express. We'd like to thank all of our fans for joining us from across Canada and around the world. Thanks for tuning in live on Knoxroom.tv for Windsor Express basketball. It's going to be a few weeks before we come back here, April 15th to be exact, so Warren Ward for 3, no good. So make sure to grab your Windsor Express tickets and make sure to catch all the action across the league, and make sure to tune into the NBO Canada Live This Week podcast hosted by some familiar faces. Commons had a great first quarter, gives it over to Kirk Williams Jr. He gets bumped on the baseline and draws a foul on Akeem's right.
London slowing the game down a little bit, Brett. And I think that's an important thing for them to do in combination with attacking the rim to try to take some of the momentum away that Windsor built in the first half.
That inbounds pass knocked away from the Lightning. Hey, folks, make sure to click the HD tab in the bottom right corner of your screen. If you're suffering some lagging, go back down to SD in order to get the best quality picture from you guys without missing any action. As Kirk Williams Jr. loose ball ends up in Akeem Wright, swings it around to Warren Ward. High post. Ryan Anderson, beautiful pass inside. Stephen Maxwell took a bump from Kirk Williams Jr., no call. Sharon Collins. Top of the key. Sharon Collins working against Akeem Scott behind the back, puts it up, rising up, shoots it short. So getting pressured there from Akeem Scott. 3-point ball game. Inside, Maxwell throws it down, and one. Stephen Maxwell with a big play there for London.
As they go back to the rim, Brett, Stephen Maxwell making things happen down low, able to draw the foul, the potential 3-point play. Looking to exploit some perceived holes in the painted area for the Windsor Express.
Looking to tie the game up. And he goes off the heel on the free throw, but tracked down in the offensive rebound, Warren Ward. Maxwell in tight again. He scores, and London takes a 66-65 lead.
8 offensive rebounds now for the Lightning as they go back to the block to score.
Chris Commons over to Kirk Williams Jr. Robinson down low. Good defensive play from Akeem Scott. Loose ball ends up in Windsor's hands. Commons down low to Kirk Williams Jr. And he can't sneak it in from the left side. He does draw a foul on Akeem Scott, though, and he'll go to the free throw line.
London fouls number 9, Akeem Scott, his third personal.
His third personal of the game. Kirk Williams Jr. misses the first free throw. Looking to tie it up with this second free throw. As we say, Kobe, free throws and turnovers often decide games in the second half. Don't want to miss too many of these. Kirk Williams comes up empty.
After scoring 11 in the first half, he misses both free throws. Things really slowing down a little bit here for the Windsor Express. Exactly what London was looking for.
Stepping in the passing lane there, but not getting the ball is Windsor. Warren Ward. Just Akeem Wright. Jab step. Working against Kirk. Rising, shooting, scoring in the middle of the lane. Akeem Wright. 3-point lead now for London.
And an advantage in terms of points in the paint, 34-32.
Akeem Wright stepping in front of the passing lane there, knocking it out of bounds. Windsor Express basketball. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Ryan Anderson going to be called for reaching in on the inbound play. Chris Commons the fouled party. The foul E.
Number 44, Ryan Anderson, is first personal, team third. Correction, his second personal.
Sharon Collins over to Chris Commons. London giving a little bit of a zone look now. Collins for 3. No good. Here come the Lightning. 3-pointer from Anderson. Akeem Scott with the offensive board. Back to Anderson for 3. Yes.
You can't give him 2 3-point attempts on one possession, shooting 44% from downtown. London Lightning with the recycled possession off the offensive rebound, and they find Ryan Anderson out the corner.
71-65, the London Lightning lead. 5 minutes into the second half here. What's going wrong for the Windsor Express here, Kobe?
Well, the Express came into the third quarter with an advantage in points in the paint. London has now overtaken and are dominating down there. We're seeing them finish at the rim, and when they play inside out, they become that much more dangerous. They can finish at the rim, then go outside to the 3-point line. They really slowed things down for the Windsor Express, who we knew were going to cool off. I don't think we would expect them to stay that hot through 4 quarters, but very much still a close game. London taking a little bit of the momentum away and exploiting some holes in the interior defense right now. So I would imagine Coach Bill Jones talking it over with his guys, trying to figure out how to stop them in the paint.
Absolutely. It's been a back and forth battle and a game of runs, like we always say. Right now, the London Lightning on a good run and leading the Windsor Express by 6 points. I'd like to thank you for joining us on Knockstrom.tv. Brett Hedges and Kobe K on the call. Nice crowd here taking in another chapter of Windsor Express basketball. Like we said, we won't be back here until April 15th when the Moncton Miracles are in town. And then I believe we're going to see the Halifax Hurricanes here the next day. So last chance to see some Central Division foes for quite a while here at the WFCU Center.
You see the Express players talking it over, trying to get themselves grounded. One more area, Brett, I neglected to touch on, and I think it's important, is the offensive rebounds. London with 8. They've also got 18 second chance points. So I think Windsor's got to do the best job they can on the glass, winning those 50-50 balls.
Sharon Collins at the helm for the Windsor Express, trying to get his team back into it. 6-point deficit currently, but a lot of time left in this game. 7 minutes flat left in the third quarter.
They need a big Tony Bennett bucket.
Chris Commons turnaround jumper off the mark. Warren Ward over to Akeem Scott. Akeem Wright working against Kirk Williams Jr. Little hesitation shot there, leaves it short. Robinson in transition. Here come the Express train running. No good on the basket there. Missed opportunity as Warren Ward nearly cans it. London ball off of the loose ball deflection.
And a whole gang of players substituting in for the Lightning.
Robinson checking out. Shaquille Keith checks in, the energy guy for the Windsor Express.
And I think that's exactly what they need, Brett. Put their foot on the gas pedal a little bit.
Shaquille Keith working against Warren Ward. Ward for 3. Ooh, he's feeling it today. Warren Ward with another cold-blooded 3-pointer.
4 for 8 from downtown, number 10, Warren Ward. Deadly from the 3-point line.
And a 9-point lead for the Lightning. Collins, quick passing out to Shaquille Keith. 3-ball from the rookie is good.
And that's a basket the Windsor Express desperately needed. Their 9th triple of the ball game.
found out earlier that Shaquille Keith is actually a graduate of the Athlete Institute in Orangeville. So he was one of the, I believe he was part of the first graduating classes out of there. So interesting to see Tyshawn Patterson for three, cans it. Answers that. Three from Shaquille Keith and knocks one down of his own.
Lightning 9 of 18 from downtown. We talked in the pregame about the job this team could do from the three-point line.
Kirk Williams Jr. draws a foul there. It was on the pass, so that will be on the ensuing possession will be underneath the basket. Maurice Bolden checks into the game for Kirk Williams Jr.
And he can provide a little more length and always does a good job on the glass, so I like the timing by Bill Jones bringing him in.
Maurice for three, it's good.
And he can do some things on the offensive end too.
77-71 now after a Mobo three-pointer. He wanted to, he came, during the Niagara game, we were speaking nice things about him. When I spotted him in the pregame, he said, hey, thanks for the nice things saying about me. So, Nick O'Corey. Pass out to Nick Evans, disrupted from the Express. Tony Bennett guards the ball, leaves it short on that offensive possession. That's two wide open baskets the Express have missed now in the third quarter. Patterson, no good. Ward with the O board. Nick O'Corey saves it from going and being a backcourt violation. Warren Ward around a Nick Evans screen. Rising and shooting. Warren Ward with a big basket there, continuing his hot shooting ways.
And he has a lot of space to shoot, Brett. And that's part of why he's having such a great game. He has got 18 points so far in this one.
Foul going to be called against Tyshawn Patterson. Tyshawn, his second personal. Sharon Collins over to Chris Commons. They Express down 8. Matchup zone here. Shaquille Keith, a little too long on his three ball. Nick Evans with the rebound. Nick O'Corey in transition. Maxwell with an alley-oop slam. Oh, baby. Oh.
They go outside for the three-pointer and then come back inside for the alley-oop slam.
And there's Shaquille Keith bumping Nick Evans and scoring in transition to stop the bleeding, so to speak. Get a big bucket back.
The Windsor Express returning fire.
Maxwell once again scores again. Maxwell, what a player.
All that work down low. He's got 18 points himself so far in this one.
Bennett in the corner for Commons. He shoots off the front rim and out of bounds.
Stephen Maxwell, 18-9. Brett, 9-12 from the field. We knew the field goal percentage so good coming in, up around 60%. Right on par with his season averages.
Patterson working against Shaquille Keith. A pair of 22s going at it there. Warren Ward for three off the mark. Chris Commons reaching in for the rebound. Good work against three Windsor London Lightning players there. Here they go in transition. Sharon Collins steps into a three. No good. Mo Bo with an offensive board kicks it out. Shaquille Keith calms it down. Recycled possession from the Windsor Express, trying to dent this 10-point lead. They're down 83-73. Sharon Collins spinning, scoring. Rock Chalk Jayhawk getting it done.
Big solid guard out of the backcourt, showing off some of that body strength. Able to create some space and go off the glass.
Chicago native getting it done there. Patterson, front rim. Bolden carrying the basketball. Yes, he put his hand under it. Unfortunate turnover for the Windsor Express, as Akeem Wright and Marcus Capers check into the game now.
Akeem Wright back in the game, Brett. 14 points, 3 assists, 5 boards, 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 2 from downtown. Having quite an evening.
Quite the evening. Capers at the three-point line. O'Corey. Crossover disrupted from Sharon Collins. Here he goes. Leaves it for Mo Bo, and he's fouled. Looking for one of those highlight reel plays. Nick O'Corey was the only man in his way.
And the Windsor Express leading the NBL in collective team steals per game. Sharon Collins with some great on-ball defense. Finds Mo Bolden in stride, able to get himself to the free throw line.
And Mo Bo to the free throw line now. Pair of subs checking in. Nick O'Corey checks out. Warren Ward checks out. Mo Bo for a pair. Former player at Southern Missouri. Grew up in Missouri. Knocks down the first free throw.
Done a great job this year, mainly coming off the bench, but he gives you double-digit scoring, Brett, 10 points. What more can you ask for with that length? That rebounding ability as he misses the second. He also gets you almost 7 rebounds.
Good character player on this team, too. Not a lot of negativity from this guy, ever. Akeem Wright, dribbling left. Oh, he almost destroyed the rim on that one, but he comes up short. Looking for a foul. Not going to get it.
Still shaking.
Oh, Maurice Bolden comes up short. Scott. Rising. Scoring. He saw the opening and he took it. Akeem Scott with another bucket for London.
Now in double digits, scoring with 10 points. 2 more at the rack.
Shaquille Keith over to Sharon Collins. Shaquille Keith played 2 seasons at Cape Breton University in the CIS. Sharon Collins scores. Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Helps facilitate a big pass for a bucket and then takes it to the rim. Sharon Collins, real impact here in Windsor as a late addition.
A Wooden Award finalist for one of the top seniors in the NCAA. Ryan Anderson nearly scores, takes a big foul underneath, and he'll go to the free throw line. Ryan Anderson getting it done for the London Lightning.
London 9 of 13 for the charity stripe thus far in this one for 69%. These free throws, though, help them extend the lead slowly but surely.
Anderson, a big part of this Windsor Express championship squad last season. Provided some great depth on the wing and at times some dominant play.
Absolutely a triple threat any time out. He's also averaging, I think, 1.5 steals with the London Lightning. He's a real terror in the passing lane, active hands. He can pass, rebound, shoot. There's nothing that this man can't do on the basketball court.
Yeah, one time he was on quadruple double alert last year because I believe he had 6 or 7 steals in a game. Shaquille Keith, no good. 4 or 5 times now the Express have come up short on plays such as that.
I was just going to say that myself. Things just not dropping, but it happens. They've at least 10 points have just bounced out.
Akeem Scott getting himself to the rim and drawing a foul. Tenacious effort from Akeem Scott now.
As he does a full back roll to get to his feet. The entire front row having to take a step back.
1:09 remaining in the third quarter. Akeem Scott trying to make it double-digit lead for London.
Very intense dude. Great basketball player. 3 of 4 from the field tonight. 10 points.
This is the first free throw there. Misses both. And you want to talk about a character guy too. Akeem Scott's one of those kind of players as well. He has his own online trend that he does called Positive Mondays. So he's all about team unity and team positivity and just keeping yourself grounded at all times. So that's a nice message to some of our children. And, of course, fans across the league, not just children.
And it's the perfect addition to this London Lightning team that really are about that. 7 scores in double digits. They move the ball well. Collectively, just a great squad. So I think his character, his skill set, just perfect for this team.
Chris Commons. No. Can't knock down the second free throw. And Marcus Capers down low gives it over to... No, traveling violation against Patterson. So a big turn of events here late in the third quarter. Windsor down 8 points, but a turnover there gives them an opportunity to trim it to possibly 5 on this possession.
And London's 10th turnover. Coach Bill Jones sure would be happy if they could get 2 or 3 points out of this possession, that's for sure.
Collins over to Commons. Backdoor pass to Shaquille Keith off the shin. Right idea. But unfortunately, it's another turnover. Gotta love the creativity, though, going into that.
10 for both teams. Anytime there's a bounce pass off the floor, it can happen.
Wright goes behind the back. No one home, and he scores. Akeem Wright makes it a 10-point game once again. And Patterson going to be called for another foul on the inbound. And Chris Commons calling his boys to the center court, saying, go, we got to help out here. We got to get some help it on this press.
Akeem Wright just feasting down low, Brad. He had a couple triples early, but now with 14 points, doing some great work at the rim.
Sharon Collins will head to the free throw line after the after the foul called against Tyshawn Patterson.
Second, personal, 2 shots.
Well, we've got a second. I'd like to thank all of our crew here on Knoxroom.tv for their participation in today's events. We got Emily Rubinski on camera today, Dan Wiley, David Willie on camera operator today. Of course, our halftime host, Aaron Sanders, the man to my right, Kobe K, and myself. And of course, this wouldn't be happening without our humble servant, Alex De Romero. So thank you very much for everything going on here today. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast here on Knoxroom.tv.
Hey, Brett, Mike Townsend is asking about how can he have a cameo on Actions of K. No, unfortunately, we shot the raw film last year. We're doing the post-production.
That's right. Yeah,
it's coming in October. We're shooting a new film, a short film, in April. We were trying to shot in March, but the weather has not been really good. It's going to be a short, fast-paced pursuit.
And I believe Sharon Collins got a technical foul while he was on the free throw line. So that's going to lead for a shot and a possession for the London Lightning now.
And so, speaking of the free throw line, the Express struggling there a little bit now, Brad, after being real hot in that area in the first quarter. 7 for 13 for 53%. So these extra points real important. It's Ryan Anderson now at the charity stripe.
He's almost automatic.
Bingo.
Knocks it down once again. Anderson. Ooh, some Marvin Gaye. Tell me what's going on.
Anderson, 8 points, 6 boards, 3 assists. Jack of all trades.
10-point game. London looking to make it plus double digits after this possession. Akeem Wright slips the double team. Over to Patterson for 3. Off the front rim. Kirk Williams Jr.'s got it. He's going to heave it up. Ooh. Too much on that one. That ends up in the crowd. It's a 10-point deficit for the Windsor Express after 3 quarters of play, but we've seen crazier things happen. When we return, fourth quarter action from the WFCU Center, only here on Knoxroom.tv.
Are you guys ready? On your mark. Get set. Go.
And Brett, Sarah Evelyn said that Bolden is from Mississippi, not Missouri. Sarah Evelyn is posting here that Bolden is from Mississippi, not from Missouri.
You're right. I'm sorry. Why did I say Missouri? Thank you. Mississippi. What? No, sorry. Just kidding. Mississippi. Yeah, Southern Mississippi. Thank you for calling me out. No, it's okay. Thank you. No, of course. Sometimes we make mistakes, and we try to be right all the time, but of course, sometimes it doesn't happen. What we are right about is that the Windsor Express are trailing by 10, heading to the fourth quarter here. After scoring 62 points in the first half, only 18 points in that third quarter, Kobe.
Yeah, we knew they were going to cool down some, but it came considerably. And London, who kept up to the Express in the first half, then subsequently heated up in the third quarter. So really it's going to come down to this 12 minutes.
Absolutely. The Express trailing by 10. Tony Bennett on the opening possession kicks it out to Shaquille Keith. He sweeps through, kicks it to Alex Johnson. He drives. Warren Ward steps in front of the passing lane there. Here he goes, and he scores. Chris Commons tried to commit a foul there as he tried to cross half court. Wasn't enough.
44 points in the paint for the London Lightning, who get 2 in transition off a turnover.
Johnson off the heel. Ward with a rebound. Express feeling the pressure. Yeah, that's what Alex said. Akeem Scott. Oh, puts his foot on the ground. Nice 2-foot stop. Gets it out to Anderson. Ooh, rising. Shooting. Just short. Anderson. 12-point deficit for the Express. Johnson kicks it back out to Tony Bennett. He's seen his share of Windsor Express comebacks, including one last week. Johnson rocking the cradle, going inside, finds Tony Bennett, scores.
And that's who you go to, number 5, when you desperately need one, Mr. 40 plus. In the St. John game, they were down by 22. Made it back and won that game. It's definitely not over, as London up by double digits, 10-point lead in the fourth.
Needed overtime to win that game. Got 10 and a quarter. Try and make something happen. Akeem Wright scores at the rack. When he makes a definitive move to the basket, it doesn't seem like he's going to be denied, Kobe.
It's very hard to put a body on him because he's so fast right off the step. I mean, when he picks up that basketball, it's like a freight train to the rim. But they got to figure something out defensively down low to stop him.
Kicks it in the corner. TB with a 3, no good. 12-point deficit once again.
London really looks in control right now in this fourth and final quarter.
Anderson spins away from Tony Bennett, working against Shaquille Keith now. Steps in front of the passing lane there, Chris Commons. Gets it to Shaquille Keith. He's got an opening. Over to Kirk Williams Jr. for a big two-handed slam. Big energy play for the Express there. Gets it back to within 10.
And he hadn't scored since the end of the second. He's now got 13 points. He had 11 coming out of the half, so that was a big bucket for Captain Kirk.
Ward. Top of the 3, Akeem Wright. Bang on. Big 3.
And 3 triples for him now. What a job he's done.
And a 13-point lead for London. Tony Bennett thought about taking the 3. Gives it over to Johnson. Nice matchup zone here being played by London. Has Windsor having to move the ball around, and getting a nice open look there was Chris Commons.
And a great touch pass from Tony Bennett with his 7th dime.
Chris Commons, offensive foul. Yes, he left his feet before he passed. Windsor looking to take advantage there. Unfortunate offensive foul call against Chris Commons.
Yeah, tough time to commit a turnover because you just had a big bucket down low. But they'll have to lock it down defensively here and try to get the ball back.
11-point deficit. Full court press being put on by by Windsor. Maxwell, top of the key, finds the opening and scores. That's the dangers of putting on a press.
22 points, 10 boards for Stephen Maxwell.
And nearly cracking the century mark are the London Lightning with over 8 minutes left in this game.
He's averaging about 18 and 12 on the year, so lots of time left for him to continue to add to these totals.
Robinson has to kick it back out to Shaquille Keith. Inside, Chris Commons is fouled by Akeem Scott. So right near the end of the possession, not a great possession for for Windsor, but they draw a foul.
And it's 4 on Akeem Scott, if I'm not mistaken.
So they get bailed out there. They get 14 seconds on the shot clock now, trying to get something going. Commons on the inbound to Shaquille Keith, and he draws a foul on Nick O'Corey. So if you can't catch him, you got to beat him. I guess they're wearing down the London now with 3 consecutive fouls, I believe.
It can certainly frustrate them. So, I mean, that's another option out of these fouls.
Trying to get to the free throw line eventually. After 5 fouls, they will, as the Tony Bennett mishandles the basketball and it goes out of bounds.
Well, technically it was out on the ref, but it's a Windsor turnover.
Warren Ward with a step-back jumper, continuing his strong play here. Cracks it, makes it a 15-point game, 101-86.
25 points, 4 triples, 7 boards, 6 assists.
In the corner, Brandon Robinson for 3, just not going to fall. In the second half, the Express just a little bit snake-bitten here, just can't find the bottom of the bucket.
Super hot through the first 2 quarters. Just really slowed down here in the second half.
Scott looking inside. Nick O'Corey, mid-range jumper off the mark. Shaquille Keith, coast to coast, he scores.
And a nice adjustment in the air, switching to the right hand. Big bucket for the Windsor Express, who are putting on all the pressure they can right now.
Big shout out to our fans watching at home across Canada and around the world. This is the lone NBL Canada game on the schedule tonight. And with a 13-point deficit, London's going to call a timeout before this final possession here. Just over 9 minutes, just under 9 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. So if you're in either huddle, Kobe, what are you trying to explain to your team?
With the Windsor Express, I think it's just not giving up any offensive rebounds. When you really go through these numbers right now, Brett, they're fairly close. Shots have just been falling for London. They've made 11 three-pointers. Windsor's made 10. Things very, very close. London just a little more efficient right now. And they've also created some additional turnovers in the second half, which have turned into points. London has 48 points in the pen, so that's points in the paint. That's really working. So if I'm the London Lightning, I want to go back there and try to exploit that as much as possible. From Windsor, they just got to dig deep, Brett. Win the 50-50 balls, not give up any O boards, and hope some of these shots start to fall.
101-88, the Express trail, and now some fine words from our fine fellow, Alejandro.
Yes, Brad and Mitch. Hopefully no one has to be taking a grapple with the cameras. I think the cameras today are very smooth. And hopefully we're doing a good job, a good broadcast. So thanks for the fans for watching us.
Yep.
To all those 130 watching now, and probably another 400 or 500 watching the replay. Thank you all for your comments and your feedback.
Absolutely. Nice words from our executive producer, Alex.
Alex, or Alejandro as we like to call him, sincerely cares about this Knoxstrom product, and he wants to give you the best broadcast, video and audio possible.
And of course, make sure to tune in for the Knoxstrom.tv post-game report with Aaron Sanders afterward. Warren Ward can't knock it down in transition. He's had himself a fantastic game with a rare miss there. Brandon Robinson swings it over to Kirk Williams Jr. Robinson with Stepping inside the three-point line, working against Akeem Scott. Just can't get it to fall. Akeem Wright with the rebound.
And again, it just rims out for the Express.
Nick O'Corey, number 2, steps into a 3. Yes, he does.
And he's been quiet this afternoon, Brett. That man can heat up in a hurry.
Absolutely. Three-pointer there from Nick O'Corey. Hey, quick shout-out to our fans at home. Tuning in on Knockstrom.tv is Tony Bennett. Knocks it down.
10 points now for the Windsor point guard, number 5, to go along with 7 assists and a big bucket.
Nick O'Corey breaking the press there. Warren Ward over to O'Corey. Right. Nice feed over to Maxwell. Blocked from behind from Chris Commons. That's got to be a handful today. Kirk Williams Jr. Got a push there in transition. Kirk Williams Jr. low post. Kicks it out to TB for 3. Off the front rim. Kirk Williams Jr. steps into a 3 now. Off the front rim. Akeem Wright with the rebound.
But you gotta love the intensity there, Brett, through all of that for Windsor. They really stepped it up, and Commons stopped what would have been a sure 2 points in the paint.
Akeem Scott kicks it out. Right for 3. No good. Quick shout out at home. Tyler Veras joining us on the Knockstrom.tv live cast on YouTube. Thanks for joining in, my friend.
Under 5 to go in this one, Brett.
13-point difference. Here come the Express. Chris Commons. Twist those shoulders in the middle. Gets it to fall. Mr. Dependable, he's had himself a hard night's work. Trying to get near that 20-point mark for the game. 11-point deficit for the Express. O'Corey swings it to right. Scott puts a definitive foot on the floor, and Kirk Williams Jr. soaring. And a reach-in foul going to be charged against Akeem Wright. So 4:11 now, here remaining in the fourth quarter, 11-point deficit. Sharon Collins going to enter the game for the Windsor Express.
And you see Windsor playing with a little bit more of a sense of urgency, Brett, as Kirk Williams Jr. secures that rebound, is able to dribble down the court. They're playing like they really want to win this game, so I expect an exciting finish. This London team has been consistently good through all the 4 quarters we've played so far.
Couldn't agree with you more. Kyle Julius' squad looking to make it 5-4 against the Windsor Express this season.
3 players scoring over 20 points for London this one. Warren Ward with 24, Steve Maxwell 22, and Akeem Wright with 21.
Absolutely. A big contribution from Akeem Wright today, and Warren Ward of the London Lightning. They're up 104-93 here with just over 4 minutes to go here in the fourth. What a fantastic game it has been. The Express will go on the road tomorrow to play the Orangeville A's. That's a 3 p.m. tip-off at the Athlete Institute in Orangeville. So check that out. Well, of course, our co-contributor of the NBL Canada Live This Week podcast, Kelsey Wright, will have the call there.
Every game is important as we really round third base here in the 2015-16 NBL Canada regular season. And here we go. It's gut check time for the Windsor Express. Just 4:11 remains in this one, Brett.
Yep. They've got 5 veterans on the floor. If they want to get some execution, these are the group to do it.
I would have to agree.
But just as good on the other side are the 5 for the London Lightning. They've got themselves some veterans here too, and they can ball out as we've seen today.
And they've got some size, certainly down there on the block.
High post, Chris Commons. We're going to get Akeem Wright, sweeps through, puts it up. No good, Kirk Williams Jr. aboard. Second chance, third chance, Kirk Williams Jr. with the bucket.
We talked about the 50-50 balls being so important early, and right there, you see what I was talking about.
9-point deficit inside 4 minutes to play here at the WFCU Center. Right, no one home, finds Maxwell, blocked from behind from Tony Bennett. That's going to draw a foul. Necessary foul if you're the Windsor Express. They don't want to give up anything easy. late here in the fourth.
London just really crafty, finding a big down low. They're able to manipulate the defense, creating space. Maxwell on the line.
Maxwell knocks it down, makes it a 10-point game once again.
He has 23 and counting.
Maxwell getting it done once again. 106-95, 3:30 to go here on Knockstrom.tv's production of Windsor Express Basketball. Catch Aaron Sanders, Sanders Windsors on Twitter for the post-game report, as Akeem Wright's going to be called for another block foul. He's got to be close to 6 in this game.
He has 5 fouls, and you got to wonder when Windsor's going to start shooting free throws, Brett.
And I see Coach Cal Julius kind of holding his brow a little bit, thinking about what he's going to do. Leaves Akeem Wright in there with 3:20 to go. Bennett with a big pass around the baseline. Quick passing from the Express. And one, Chris Commons.
Sharon Collins elects not to shoot, but to fire it into the paint to Mr. Dependable Chris Commons with the potential three-point play. Couldn't have come at a better time.
3:15 to go. Windsor getting a big bucket from their team leader in almost every major category. Chris Commons looking to make it a 3-point play on this free throw. Off the heel. Loose ball. Kirk Williams Jr. gets it back and he scores.
We talked about who was going to have a big second half for the Express. We mentioned Kirk Williams Jr.
Tony Bennett had to get back on defense there after the press was broken. Ryan Anderson gets pushed on the second opportunity. So he goes to the line for free throws. So Express pick up 4 points on that previous possession. Now it's big. They're down 7. But Anderson's got a chance to make it 9 with these free throws.
And he is a 76% free throw shooter as he makes the first. So the Windsor Express with a real push here in the second half.
Anderson makes both.
The fourth quarter specifically.
Time to get a bucket and time to make a stop. Sharon Collins waiting for the roller on that screen and roll. Tony Bennett driving to the lane. He's going to draw a push foul on Akeem Scott.
Ryan Anderson looking for a carry. The ref not having it.
Nope. Unfortunate.
London foul to number 9, Akeem Scott, has his 5th personal.
That's his 5th foul. So now the chess match continues. Akeem Wright's got 5. Akeem Scott's got 5. So 2 of your most influential players, arguably.
And 2 of the best players from London's side in this game so far. And with 2:48 left, you could see one of these guys have to pack it in for the night.
Yeah, on this ensuing possession even. So Anderson with a kickball there. We're going to redo this play. Kirk Williams Jr. on the inbound. Rising, shooting, and one. Kirk Williams Jr. Wow.
Unbelievable. 19 points for Kirk Williams Jr. 11 boards. What a game.
KWJ making the acrobatic play. Kyle Julius looking for an explanation on there.
When that ball left his hand, I didn't think there was too much of a chance it was going in. What a tough shot.
And there's a problem on the floor here because that foul was charged to Akeem Wright, number 25. Stephen Maxwell is trying to claim the foul was his, and they're trying to get this situation figured out at the score clock. That would be a big play for the Express. And I'll say it here first. It was Stephen Maxwell that was defending Kirk Williams Jr. It was him. Akeem Wright had his hands on Chris Commons defending the interior pass. So,
well, I'm sure Carmen will serve this up the right way, and they will charge the foul to number 21, Stephen Maxwell.
Like we said, folks, the next home game here is not going to be for a while. April 15th against Moncton, so you'll be checking in on some road broadcasts. Get to see some of the fantastic broadcasts from across the league beginning tomorrow in Orangeville. And we'd like to thank our 143 viewers joining us on the Knockstrom.tv live stream, courtesy of YouTube.
143 winners right there, Brett.
Absolutely. You could have been anywhere in the world with us. We could have been anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. Yeah, we hope that everybody enjoys the replays as well. Of course, we're averaging close to 500 replays per game, so really glad to see that all the folks enjoying the broadcast and enjoying our production of Windsor Express basketball. Make sure to follow Knockstrom on Twitter at NOXTROM Knockstrom. Kobe K is on Twitter at Kobe519. Aaron Sanders, A. Sanders Windsor. And myself, I'm Brett Hedges. You can find me at Under the Hedges. So they're going to say that that foul was on the floor. No. The foul is on the floor. So if Akeem Wright is out of the game, that means that the foul was on Wright.
But so Kirk Williams Jr.'s basket counts, so then this would be 2 shots.
Yes, this must have been a foul away from the ball during the shot.
So this could be a 4-point swing for the Windsor Express.
And I was actually speaking with DJ Thor about a situation like this. And Kevin Gerald, the team photographer, about this kind of situation.
And there it is, folks.
Where you would get a basket and 2 free throws anyway.
The game
quickly pressed, broken, and Tony Bennett's going to be called for the foul. So the main thing to know that this is a 5-point game now, 108-103, thanks to the series of plays aforementioned.
glad we got it all figured out. 2 huge free throws by Chris Commons, and now the London Lightning back on the line, and it will be Akeem Scott.
Yeah. Of course, folks, we have the hockey view. We don't have the pure basketball view, so we're not at the scorer's table. So we don't get all of the explanations for every single call. So we just have to roll with the punches, so to speak, and just keep going. So we just know that Akeem Scott is at the free throw line looking to make it 7 points. And he does.
2 big free throws there by a real veteran guy, Akeem Scott.
Couldn't agree with you more. Sharon Collins at the helm, his team down 7. High screen. Sharon Collins, hesitation dribble, gives it back to Commons. Hands off to Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett rising, shooting, and then a foul down low on Stephen Maxwell. Kirk Williams Jr. got plowed underneath the basket there.
He's been an absolute hero for the Express tonight. 19 and 11. Big double-double for Kirk Williams Jr., who looks to head to the free throw line.
So that foul is going to be charged against Ryan Anderson of the Lightning. That was his 3rd. Kirk Williams Jr. goes back to the free throw line. 2:21 to go here on 4th quarter action.
He is 1 of 4 from the line tonight, so these very, very important free throws coming up here for Kirk Williams Jr.
Oh, and he gets a good bounce there. Another shout out. Nice, happy 83rd birthday to Adeline Torrey, of course. Mother to.
So when it counts the most, Kirk Williams Jr. comes through from the free throw line. This lead is down to 5.
Nick O'Corey in transition has his pass blocked from Chris Commons. He's on the floor. It's a jump ball. It's going to be London basketball. But another turnover, so to speak, despite the ball being London's possession.
Chris Commons almost intercepts the alley-oop, tips the ball, but Windsor comes up with it regardless.
Hey, big shout out to the Field family watching at home now.
London ball.
Checking the live stream out on Knockstrom.tv. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, Randy Field, a fighter in the MMA world. I'm sure you know Mitch as you're an MMA broadcaster. Akeem Scott at the free, looking to get a high screen and roll there. Looking inside, over to Capers. O'Corey. Kirk Williams Jr. with a reach in there, and that's going to negate that play. That one's going to go against Kirk Williams Jr.
Express foul to number 32, Kirk Williams Jr. His third personal.
That's just Kirk's third. So 2:01 to go here.
Windsor really needs a stop here.
Scott gets a high screen from Maxwell. No one home. No, he swings it out to the 3 for Anderson. Oh, almost a dagger there. That misses off the front rim. Bennett in the corner. Brandon Robinson off the mark. Kirk Williams Jr. with an offensive rebound and another foul. No, that one's going to go against KWJ. No. So, hold on. Wait for the PA announcer, I'm sorry. Sorry, that's going to go against Tony Bennett. The foul must have been away from the play that I saw. So it's London basketball, 1:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. 5-point lead. O'Corey defended by Collins, and he reaches in. That's going to draw a foul. 1:31 to go.
Express foul to number 4, Sharon Collins, his third personal, team 7. At the line, Nick O'Corey.
So Nick O'Corey, the third highest scorer in league history. Looking to try and solidify things from the free throw line for his London Lightning squad.
2 of 2 from the line tonight. 81% on the season.
And he knocks it down, the first one with ease. Misses the second. Brandon Robinson with a rebound. So it's a 6-point game. Pair of threes for the Express will tie it up. Collins to Commons. He steps outside the 3-point line. Over to Sharon Collins. High screen. Collins gets some room. No, he finds some space. Kicks it out to KWJ. Sweeps through, puts up a floater. It's good. Wow, what a play.
With no time on the shot clock, Kirk Williams Jr. delivers.
Carey, yes, that's going to go against Ryan Anderson.
So things get interesting. 1 minute left. It's a 4-point difference here. Express basketball.
They're going to say that Ryan Anderson traveled as he crossed the timeline. That pass nearly was sent out of bounds, but a nice play from Anderson to keep it in. Then he made a spin move. Unfortunately, they said he had a step too many. 4-point game here between the Windsor Express and the London Lightning. Kobe K, what do you say?
It's a tough time for London to commit a turnover like that. But going back to the other end, Windsor made one too many passes there, and it put Kirk Williams Jr. in a really tough position. But boy, did he ever deliver. 23 points for Kirk Williams Jr. Makes a really tough shot to keep Windsor in this thing. Just 4 points separates these two teams. This is going to be an exciting finish.
Are you not entertained? Did you not expect this kind of finish from the Windsor Express and London Lightning?
Are you not entertained? That's my Russell Crowe in Gladiator.
Absolutely, and it's been like we said, it's been a battle between these gladiators of the hardcourt, as my old friend used to say.
Yes, another game for all those addicted to drama and adrenaline junkies. Welcome. This is NBLC.
That's right. Coming out of the timeout, the Windsor Express trail by 4 points, 111-107. But they have possession in the front court thanks to the timeout call from Bill Jones.
So lots of time to work, full shot clock. But what they need is a bucket and a stop. We know that. Coach Bill Jones, real good coming out of the timeout. But Kyle Julius is a master in his own regard. So the chess match is on, Brett.
1 minute to go here in regulation. Dare I say we could go to overtime?
Anything's possible in the NBL.
Anything's possible! That's my Kevin Garnett. Here we go. 1 minute to go. Sharon Collins gets the inbound. Kirk Williams Jr., who's been a big part of this comeback. 4 point game. Sharon Collins stops at the 3-point line. Knocks it off a defender. It's going to be Express ball. 11 seconds to go on the shot clock. 46 on the game clock.
Sean Collins really with nowhere to go, and I don't think he was going to get a good shot off. So I think that was best case scenario off that drive. They retain possession.
So Akeem Wright, like we said, fouled out about the 2-minute mark of the game. You got Capers, Scott, Anderson, Maxwell, and Ward on the floor for London. Robinson, Sharon Collins, Kirk Williams Jr., Chris Commons, and Tony Bennett for Windsor.
So perhaps the most important possession of the game going down right now.
Kirk Williams Jr. hauls it in. Look for the high screen here. Tony Bennett. Chris Commons with an O board. Gets left alone. He scores. 2-point game. 111-109. Turnover. Brandon Robinson at the rack. Blocked. And a foul going to go against Akeem Scott. That's going to be his 6th. Wow.
We talked about it being the most important possession of the game as the whole WFCU center on their feet.
And of course, Sharon Collins got the folks to gear it up a little bit, and then Tony Bennett says, "Hey guys, we got to shoot free throws. Got to calm this game down." So a chance to tie here for the Windsor Express. 111-109, and Akeem Scott fouls out of the game.
So now you have the Lightning with 2 very key guys out of the game, and the Windsor Express not giving up without a fight.
Ooh, and Brandon Robinson leaves it short on the first free throw. Less than 30 seconds to go in the game. He can make it a 1-pointer on this attempt. He leaves it scores.
So we'll have about 6 seconds differential between the shot and game clock. So should there be a stop, Windsor could have time to get a shot off. It's going to be an interesting finish, my friend.
And an interesting aspect you could say to this possession is for London to try and keep away from the Windsor Express, because if they foul on the inbound, they'll just have 2 free throws and then would get the ball back, given that everything goes according to plan. But if you're the London Lightning, are you trying to maybe play keep away, so to speak, and just try and keep the ball away from the Express long enough to draw a foul?
Well, it's definitely possible, that's for sure. We will find out shortly. 34 seconds left in this timeout. Kyle Julius talking it over with the troops.
And this is another classic NBL Central Division game. Slug it out, drag it out. You can have a lead as much as you have. 14 points, whatever it was, 14 points, 22 points. You got to play the full 48 minutes, and that's what we're seeing here.
And we talked about that in the pregame. Who can really win the scrap tonight? And right now, it's anybody's game.
Right now, we're in round 14 of a heavyweight championship fight.
If this is a preview of the Central Finals, the NBL's in good shape, my friend.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. London steps onto the floor. They've got a 1-point lead and a full shot clock to try and drain. The Express have no fouls to give, but are down 1 point. Don't want to give anything up easy. Bennett defending the inbounder. Stephen Maxwell gets the ball in. O'Corey at the top of the key. You don't want to send him to the free throw line. He's almost automatic. 20 seconds to go in the game. He turns the corner. Gives it out to Anderson. The 3-point specialist gets fouled from Tony Bennett. 10 seconds to go in the shot clock. Ryan Anderson heads back to the game, and Tony Bennett must have gotten a signal from his head coach to foul in that situation. Too much time has gone off the clock, I'd say. And he knocks it down. So Ryan Anderson with a 2-point gap now for the London Lightning. I bet you a nickel he makes it. And he does. Ryan Anderson makes it a 3-point game once again. 15 ticks on the clock. Timeout Windsor. Oh, how the plot thickens, my friend.
This is now given Windsor an opportunity to tie the game with the potential three-point basket made.
113, 110 here at the WFCU Center. In the 9th meeting between these two clubs this year, it's another barn burner.
It will likely come down to the game-winning shot. We will find out shortly. Figuring out the best chain of command here, who's going to inbound this basketball, and ultimately, who's going to take this shot.
Bill Jones just getting to the timeout now. Most of the conversation going between the Windsor Express players on the bench. Meanwhile, Kyle Julius is in on that huddle right away.
The team 11 for 31 from long for 35%. And I think, Brett, London's lost a couple key defenders also, and that could play huge dividends here as we play this thing out.
Both teams coming back on the floor now. And what could be the final possession of the game. We've seen ourselves some dandies, of course, between these two teams before. And it always gets better every time we go on the floor and go on the mic between these two clubs. Make sure to tune in, folks, for the Aaron Sanders post-game report on Knockstrom.tv. Give him a follow at @SandersWindsor on Twitter.
Tony Bennett, the man that commits the foul, a foul that needed to take place to give Windsor a shot, will inbound.
Bennett inbounds it to Sharon Collins. High screen from Kirk Williams Jr. Is he going to take the shot? He enters into the circle. Brandon Robinson, who's made big shots before, over to Sharon Collins. Kansas! No, it's off the mark. Anderson out of bounds. No, it ends up out of the hands of London. Is that how the game's going to end? Yes, it is.
I believe it is.
What a turn of events. The game was in the hands of Sharon Collins, but he ends up putting it up short.
I think Brandon Robinson did everything he could to create space, but it just wasn't there. He knew he didn't have a good shot. He was going to have to jack one up, so he shoveled it over to Sharon Collins, and it falls short. But what an effort, Brett.
Absolutely. The 9th edition of the Windsor-London rivalry here in NBL Canada action goes to the London Lightning, 113-110. Kobe, what a game.
Windsor was great through 3 quarters, really struggled in the 3rd, and London was more consistent throughout the entirety of 4 frames, and that's ultimately why they got out of here with a W. But like I said, a preview of a potential Central Division Finals, I'll take this any day of the week. 2 of the most exciting basketball teams in the country.
Absolutely. The next time these two teams will play is April 30th at Budweiser Gardens in the NBL Canada regular season finale. But the next time we will be here on Knockstrom.tv is April 15th against the Moncton Miracles. From everyone here on Knockstrom.tv, we'd like to thank you for joining us for another production of Windsor Express Basketball. Dan Willey, Emily Rubinski, Kobe K, Alex De Romero. I'm Brett Hedges saying thanks for watching, and let's send it over to the post-game report with Aaron Sanders. Take it away, my friend.
Thanks, gentlemen, and what a close game by all. Do not feel discouraged with the outcome. No matter what, this was a close game that went down to the wire, but London got the better end of this game, 113-110, and we got the Knockstrom post-game for you. So here we go. Aaron Sanders with you, and I will break down the stats as followed. We look at the end of the game, and both London and Windsor shot either exactly at 50% or higher. London got the better end, like I said, 53% from the field, and the Express exactly at 50%. They shot 86 shots in tonight's contest. The three-point percentage is not as close, but London got away with it, 44%, 34% for the Express. Game leading scorer for London is Warren Ward, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. And on the other side, is it common to have this player as a player of the game? You betcha. Chris Commons got 1 more than his jersey number, 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Talk about a great game by all. None of these teams should be discouraged about how close this game was, but when it came down to the wire, the bench for the Windsor Express have been phenomenal, outscoring London's bench 43-20. And when it comes to the points off turnover, that's the transition game. Windsor did well on that, 18-14. But when you sum it all to once, the Express, despite them outscoring London 30-23 in the final frame, the London Lightning's really came out with a vengeance in the second half with their quick pace game, and that was the name of the game, pace. They controlled the tempo. They played within their own speed. That's how they got the baskets. That's why plenty of times the Express were a little too slow to come back and go in the defense. So when the defense falters, the offense really steps it up a notch. 113-110 is the final. The London Lightning, after going 1-3 in the whole month of March, they now go 2-3, and they look to be a image of themselves leading the Central Division. And now we're going to look at some more stuff right here. We were the only game today. Can you believe that, folks? One day before Easter Sunday, and we had ourselves a diaper dandy of a game, didn't we? So for the Windsor Express, they go to 17-14, which means they still have one of the best home records in the NBLC. They are now 12-5, if I'm not mistaken, and the London Lightning, they still have an upper edge in the Central Division, leading 19-9. So yeah, Windsor Express 12-5 on the home floor, and as for London, they move up their home record to 8-5. Now, folks, it's going to be a while since we see you guys again, but we have the next few games for the Windsor Express for you. Watch them where you are. Tomorrow afternoon, Easter Sunday, the Express will travel to the Institute to play the Orangeville A's. That will start at 3 p.m. And then on April 2nd, they travel to Niagara to face the River Lions. Then on April 8th, they're back at the Institute to play against the A's. And then the next time we will see you, April 15th, against the Moncton Miracles. And most of you would know Gary Gibson is now on the Moncton Miracles. He played for the Windsor Express last year, part of last year's championship team. He was traded to the Island Storm at the beginning of the season, let go, but Moncton picked him up a few weeks ago, and you got to believe the hype the Moncton Miracles getting. A resurgence since Paul Mokeski took the coaching helm, and now Gary Gibson is on there, so this could be a great homecoming for one Gary Gibson yet again. The final score, London Lightning 113, the Express 110. They wanted to end their 4-game homestand with a sweep, but they go 3-1, won 3 of their last 4, so they shouldn't get discouraged, but they should prepare for their next game tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend my happy Easter greetings to each and every one of you. And if you don't celebrate it, we hope you have a happy, great weekend, and enjoy it with your family too. That's the number one thing that happens around here. We have a great family here at Knoxstrom.tv, as well as our faithful crew and fans at the WFCU Center. So, with that in mind, this is Aaron Sanders reminding you that this has been a presentation of Knoxstrom Digital Media, producing the media excellence in the Windsor-Essex County. Happy Easter, everybody. Thank you for all you that's watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and until we see you in about 3 weeks' time, April 15th against the Moncton Miracles, this be Aaron Sanders saying, so long from the Rose City.